Hey everyone, Susan Campfield here. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining me for our Tuesday tutorial. Tonight we're going to play with a really cute card made with Warm and Toasty. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to flip the camera and you'll see my ceiling for just a moment while I get set in my stand here. Hey Barb. Here we go. Let's see if we can get this in. You get a sneak peek at my super duper messy desk. All right, I think we're all situated here. How are you doing tonight? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a couple fun cards with this super cute set. Yeah, I love this one too, Carol. This is the Warm and Toasty set. And I just was playing with it today and thought I'd jump on. We're actually going to do 2 cards with it. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start by stamping our image here. We're going to do the white bear. Gotta do the white bear. I live in Minnesota and I'm in the town of Vadnais Heights, which is right next to the town of White Bear Lake. And that is our school district. And that is where my husband works as a pharmacist, and his drugstore is known as the White Bear store, actually. Our church is in White Bear, and so white bears are a big deal around here. I'm stalling because I can't find my white bear. Okay, where did he go? Oh, there he is. Right there on my block, all ready to go. Yay. So I'm going to stamp it in the Memento Tuxedo Black because I'm using the Stampin' Blends tonight. I love coloring with Stampin' Blends. I find it very relaxing. And I love that there's a color lifter, so if I mess up, I can lift up the color and fix it, which isn't always the case with a regular marker. So I'm going to stamp my bear here. Now I want to make sure that he's skating straight, so I'm going to just stamp him right over here. Let's go right there. And I want to give this good pressure. I am stamping on thick Whisper White cardstock. So, hey there, how are you? So I want to stamp that right there. And I can see I missed a little spot on his skate, but I'm not going to worry about that because I can fix that. So let's see here. This is my fix for that, the Stampin' Blends in the basic black. I could just go in and fix that right up. Magic. It's like magic. All better. It's like I barely touch the paper. It just like sort of soaks right in. So, yay for white bears, right, Kathy? So we've got our bear here, and we're going to go in and we're going to color him with the Seaside Spray blends. So the great thing about white bears is they require very little coloring, right? So I'm just going to basically be coloring his scarf, and I'm just going to, he is skating, right? So we can't just have him skating through midair here. So we should probably put, let's go ahead and add our greeting. I think if I add my greeting, that's going to give me a little bit more idea where I want to be doing this. So, hey, Carol Garrison. Got this all inked up. And hi, Barb. I want to make sure I do a better job of stamping this one. It's a challenge of doing these lives. I'm like kind of stamping through the phone and not always paying attention to what I'm doing. So I did a better job with my pressure on that one. I love this greeting, Warm and Toasty wishes to you. It is very snowy and cold here in Minnesota, which is, I know that sounds like it probably would be a normal Minnesota thing, but this is actually early for us. We usually do not have this much snow this early. So it is supposed to warm up, supposedly, later in the week. I think even tomorrow, which will be really nice. So I'm using the light sea spray, and I'm just quickly coloring in his scarf. I'm not worrying at this point about much about the details. I'm just trying to not go outside the lines too much. I can fix it if I do. It's not a big deal. Hey, Katie. And I'm going to just, now I'm going to go in with the skinny tip of that light marker. Isn't he cute? It's so cute. I'm just filling in with the sort of the white spaces, because before I was using the wide tip and I didn't want to get too close to the edges and go out. Now I can kind of go back and just fill in a little bit. One of the beauties of the blends is they come with a 2-pack, right? So you get the light and the dark. So I'm going to go in with the dark, and I'm going to fill in the striped area. I have this really weird feeling that I went live on my personal Facebook page, not in our group. Did I? I mean, it's okay if I did, I guess, but I'm glad you guys found me. So I am just coloring in the stripes with the darker blend, and you can see how it's, just one shade darker. You can do all sorts of fancy blending with this. The beauty of this stamp is there's really very little coloring required. This part actually could be white. You could even just do the stripey part and have it be really, really fast. So I'm going to go back in with the light blend, and I'm going to give our poor little floaty polar bear something to be skating on, right? He's just like in midair. So I'm going to go in and just draw some ice in there. Plenty of that in Minnesota here. We've had some slick roads already. Always go through this where we sort of forget how to drive on the snowy roads and have to have some crashes and bashes until we figure it out again. There we go. So he's now not floating. He's grounded. He's got a base to be. And this it looks fancy, but it was literally just scribbling on some color, right? And then I'm going to add just a little more shading. I've got the light again, and I'm just going around, kind of following the lines of the stamp and just shading just a little bit. It just adds some more depth, I think. Not a deal breaker if you want to skip this part, totally fine. Like I said, I love the coloring part, and I like having that little bit of shadowing. Just makes it look a little more realistic and kind of come to life. So there we've got it's kind of got a 5 o'clock shadow deal there. So, and now we're going to go in with, all right, this is where we leave reality and we go into the world of doing our own thing with paper crafting, which is what makes it so fun, right? I like my cute furry animals to be blushing. So I've got the light petal pink here. I'm sure real polar bears don't blush, but they're so much cuter when they do, right? You can even add a little bit inside the ears, just a tiny touch. And that just adds a little more warmth and almost human to the face there by just adding that little bit of blush, a little bit of color to the face. So brings our little bear to life. So that's it for our coloring. So we're going to do 2 different cards here. So for the first one, I've got Seaside Spray, and this is 5.5 by 8.5. It's your standard card, and then I have a piece of that fantastic Snowflake Splendor paper. I cannot leave this stuff alone. I mean, it is just so many fun patterns. Oops, I'm missing one. Almost all of them here. And there's the other sides. So I think the one I'm missing, nope, I do have the one I'm using here. There's actually should be 6 patterns. So one of them is, here it is. It's in my tin. Anyway, this one, I could really use either side for this card. I'm going to use this side. It reminds me of like the Northern Lights with all of those, rosy cheeks from being outside, right? So exactly. But I like, doesn't that look kind of like Northern Lightsy? How it's just the purples and the blues and those soft hues and of course the snowflakes. So we're going to go ahead and add that to our cardstock here. Grab my Seal Plus. Just add that on there. Hey, Kathy. And so we're going to just stick this on. You know what? Sorry, I just noticed that when I folded my cardstock, I don't know if my scoring was off or it was my folding abilities, but it's a little bit crookedy. It's just going to drive me nuts. So I'm just lining up the corners, and I'm going to go back in with my bone folder, and I'm sort of recreasing it so that it is, I'm not getting that weird overhang thing. I'm trying to do this so I have more of like a night sky up here at the top and the lighter at the bottom. So we're going to just stick this on, easy peasy. And one of the joys of living in Minnesota is that we have a lot of snow for a long time. So although this would be a really fun Christmas card, it could also be a winter birthday. It could be just a thinking of you. I mean, there's many months that we can use this for. Oh boy, don't even tell me I'm out of dimensionals up here. No, it's not possible. I have loads of the minis, but my big ones are all missing at the moment. I'm sure they're on my desk here, which is rather messy, so it's okay. Minis will work, right? I just need to put more of them on. So again, this was stamped on the thick because it does bleed through. That's how you know you're doing it right. You do want it to kind of bleed through. And I'm just going to stick this on. So instead of using 4 big ones, I'm going to use 6 little ones. Whoa! Not only pulled the back off, I pulled the whole little dimensional off. Get all our little backer pieces off here. There we go. Good to see you too, Kathy. Thanks for tuning in. It's almost a shame to cover up that pretty paper, isn't it? But it's just perfect with our cute little guy. So there is our snow dude. And we could do whatever we want on the inside of this one. I am going to play with adding a ribbon here. Let me give you your choices here. So this is the Seaside Spray. I believe this one is called the Metallic Ribbon. So it's got that silver in there. So it's got a nice sparkle to it. And that could just be a knotted piece. No need to get into fancy bow tie in here. Not that I don't like that too, but remember last week when I didn't have my ribbon scissors? Yeah, they're still downstairs. Darn it. So I got kind of a rough edge here. I'm dealing with sticky scissors. Those just are never good with ribbon. So that's going to go just right in the corner. Just adds a little something to the front there. So now let's go on to our other card. So this one was pretty. I'll just run you through the measurements on this one. It's really basic. So our card base was 8.5 by 5.5. Our designer series paper was 4 by 5.25. And for this card, for my inside greeting, I would also do one that's 4 by 5.25. That right in the corner there. I still want to trim that a little bit more. It looks a little bit long. And then this piece right here was thick whisper white, and that was 3 by 4.25. Okay, so our other fold, and again, Seaside Spray was what I used for the base. This one's also Seaside Spray. And let's see, my bone folder ran away. I'm sure it's right here in front of me, but I'll just grab another one out of the drawer. That's the beauty of having more than one, right? So this one is 8.25 by 4.25, and I'm just folding it like that, and I'm going to add another pattern of that designer series paper, that same Snowflake Splendor, and that is on sale this month. And I'm just going to add that right here to my card. Snowflake sequins. Oh, I like the way you think, Kathy. In fact, it's funny you should mention that because I actually also have some other sequins right here on my desk that we could use as well. These are the Artistry Blooms adhesive back sequins from the main catalog. But Kathy is talking about the snowflake sequins, which got a heavy rotation in Stamp-A-Stack. Let's see what I've got. I know I've got some left because you get just loads when you get the thing. Yeah, I do still have. There we go. So these are the snowflake sequins. You get kind of this whitish pinkish and this little bit more purplish bluish. So either of those would be fun to add on there. So we've got this done. We're going to take a quarter sheet of Whisper White. So that's, well, it's not exactly a quarter sheet. It's 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to go on the inside here. But I'm going to add some embossing to that. I don't want to emboss the whole thing because I want a spot to put a greeting or to write a note. So I'm actually going to just do about half of it. So let's bring in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I'm going with the Winter Snow Embossing folder. This is a standard folder. I want to do, oh, I don't know, let's see, about that much. So leave me a little bit of room to write, or I could even stamp a little image there. So I'm just going to hang that part off, and I'll just be embossing then that, just the portion of the folder that I have in the folder. Send that through. All right, let's pull this out of the way. So that just added snowflakes on one side of the paper, and it leaves me a spot to stamp or write. So that's going to go on the inside, and when I fold that flap down, you're going to see those snowflakes, and then when they open their card, it'll open like that. Of course, we're going to have our cute polar bear here. Before I do that, let's, you know what, let's stamp. Look, there's even a little baby polar bear in this one, so I think that one should go on the inside. Making sure I get enough ink on his toes. I haven't even inked this one up yet. So cute. You could also just stamp this in Seaside Spray for that matter. So there we've got our cute little polar bear sitting on the inside of our card, and we can write our greeting here. You can tell I don't like to write very much, so try to fill up as much of the card as I can. So here I have another polar bear that I actually colored earlier. So you can see the two side by side here. Now this one I actually do want a layer behind that, because remember, when you're coloring it properly, it does bleed through. And so when they open it up, they'd be able to see that, and I don't know. I just don't like that. I think it's just a little bit, you might as well cover those things up, right? So that means we need to cut a little bit of cardstock. Let's just grab our paper trimmer here, and we'll do that. So I said that was 3 by 4 1/4, right? So this one needs to be, I'm just going to do a teeny tiny layer. So this is going to be 1/8 of an inch bigger than the 4 1/4, and this is going to be 1/8 of an inch bigger than the 3. Let's see if I did that right. And so that's just going to give me, not only is it going to cover up the stuff on the back, it gives you a nice little layer there. Keep forgetting with the Seal Plus, you want to just pull it straight up, kind of lean it forward a little bit to break the adhesive. It actually is very convenient that the adhesive is already serrated so that it breaks really nicely. So that's going to go right there. We've got to stick this down. We didn't stick this down yet. Let's see if I can hold it up so you can see how this adhesive has these little serrated Yeah, can you see the little lines there? Each of those lines is an easy, it breaks at those lines. So it avoids all of the strings that you can get from a really strong adhesive like this. This is the Seal Plus, which is the stronger of the two new adhesives. And it's I find it easier to use than the regular Seal. Although I have been using that one more, but if you're new to Seal, I would recommend the Seal Plus before the regular Seal, in my opinion. There we go. Now you could certainly do a little coloring on this little bear if you wanted. Add a little some blushing cheeks on this one as well. So cute. Oh, stamping on the inside of your cards. Yeah, I think it's nice to have that little, besides it just a greeting inside. I agree with you. I think it's nice to have that. Now also in this set, we've got some snowflakes. So we're going to go ahead and just stamp a few snowflakes on this. And that's going to be with Seaside Spray. So this one's a little bit fancier than our first one, which was kind of a little more straight up. This one we're just adding just a little touch of that Seaside Spray, but it just adds so much. We stampers hate too much white space, don't we? So that just adds a little bit. Now, of course, we can do, I think our little polar bear needs a few snowflakes too, right? On the inside there. So let's go ahead and add this to the front. And by adding those snowflakes, you really don't even need the ribbon at all now. In my opinion on this, you certainly could add ribbon. I'm always ready to add ribbon, but on this one, I don't honestly think you need it. I'm stalling to see if I can find my big dimensionals. Oh, there they are. Ha! I knew they were on this desk somewhere. And I knew it was probably right in front of my face. All right, now with this one, you don't want to put a dimensional in every corner because it's going to hang off. So I'm just going to put them at one side over here. This set is so adorable. Like, you cannot make an ugly card with this set. It's you know, the cute part is done for you. You just get to put the card together. I mean, look at this adorable reindeer. I've gotten some really cute cards with that one too. It's super cute. So there we have our warm and toasty wishes to you, and more warm and toasty wishes to you. Now on this one, I will want an inside greeting, so we can do the sharing Christmas cheer. Here's to a cool Yule, just for you. Lots of options there. But I'm going to just take this opportunity to show you one of my team members, Carol Baumgartner, shared a video with a demonstrator, I think from another country, showing how she puts her stickers on the back of her, puts her labels on the back of her stamps. And it was like a light bulb moment for me, and it was a game changer. And so I just want to show you that really quick because I struggle with this because I like my stickers to be my labels to be totally straight. So I have my greeting here. It's ready to be labeled. Peel the back off. I know some people leave the labels off. That's another option as well. But this one is words, and I want to know what side is right side up. So I'm actually going to peel up the entire label here off of my sheet, leave the backing part on it, and put it on my block. So I'm sticking the label directly to the block. And I'm going to peel the backing off. And I wish I could remember the name of the demonstrator and even what country she was from, but this was like light bulb moment for me. So here we've got our stamp. And until I've got it upside down, which I don't want, let's get it the right way, Sue. Okay, there we go. So now you just hover over it. And again, I'm doing this through the phone, so until the edges of the label are lined up with the stamp, and then you just press. And then you can peel it off of the block, and your label is perfectly straight, right where it's supposed to be. It's an amazing thing. Let's test it out. Whoops, I'm going to put it right back on that block. And we're going to add this inside our card. I think I will do this. Oh, I need a piece for the inside of that card. You know what? I have one here from earlier. This one has some snowflakes on it, less snowflakes than we did on this one, but should we just use this piece? We'll be lazy. We'll just use that piece. So I'm going to actually stamp it here. Oh, let's stamp it right side up. And I'm going to stamp it in the black. Memento Tuxedo Black. Did you start doing it too, Carol? Isn't it? It's been amazing. I will never go back to the other way, which drove me nuts. So I'm going to 1, 2, 3, stamp that right there. And then I'm going to go back with the Seaside Spray, and we're going to grab a few of those cute snowflakes and add those in to the inside around here. One more right here. There we go. And I got plenty of room to write. And that's just going to go right inside my card. So the embossing would be optional on that. This card, you would not have to have an embossing machine to do. That step would be optional. Not a necessity at all. And there we have our 2 cards with the Snowflake Splendor. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. And as Kathy mentioned, you could certainly add in some the adhesive back snowflake sequins or any other sequins you have if you want a little extra sparkle. Even with that snowflake stamp, I think it would be fun to add them right on top there. And then can you see how when you tilt it in the light you get quite a bit of glimmer? So I would probably just add 3, 1 to each of those large snowflakes for just a little extra shimmer on the front there. So thanks for tuning in tonight. Have a great evening, everyone. Bye-bye.